Hey everyone, just a quick update on the HHS provider relief funds. The Department of Health and Human Services recently announced that it would be extending the deadline for providers to apply for the general allocation funding. This was the $50 billion that HHS made available to all healthcare providers out of the larger $175 billion that was allocated to the agency to help healthcare providers with both their expenses and their lost revenue attributable to the current pandemic. That $50 billion was distributed by HHS in two tranches, with the first tranche going out in early April. That tranche, which was $30 billion, was distributed based on your relative share of 2019 Medicare revenues. You would have gotten that payment without the need to do anything special. It would have just come, and then you were required to submit and agree to certain terms and conditions. The second tranche, which started going out in late April and continued through the June 3rd deadline, did require healthcare providers to go in and submit certain financial information so that HHS could accurately calculate their 2% of net patient revenues. What happened though is that there were certain entities that didn't meet the initial eligibility requirements for certain reasons. And HHS is now sort of fixing that problem by allowing them to apply today. So one situation where a provider might not have been eligible would have been a situation where they had a change of ownership in either 2019 or 2020. One of the requirements for the funds is that the entity remain in operation through the pandemic, and for the old owner, they would not have been eligible under that criteria, and as a result, they might have had to refund the money. However, the new owners wouldn't have been eligible to apply in their own name because, again, they didn't have 2019 patient revenue. Another situation where the new extension might apply would be a situation where, for whatever reason, the provider didn't receive the full 2% of its net patient revenues, and that would include situations where they missed the June 3rd deadline for applying. And the final situation where this might apply would be, and I suspect this is fairly rare, but situations where the provider accepted the tranche 1 payment and then ultimately elected to return it, thinking they might not meet the coverage requirements. So if you recall, at the time that money went out, HHS seemed to indicate that the money could only be used to reimburse you for actual expenses or lost revenue, and there would have been providers in early April that may not have seen the pandemic hit them as hard as it hits other areas at that time. And as a result, they may not have believed that they were eligible at the time. But now situations changed, and they find themselves with additional expenses incurred in responding. So in all three instances, HHS has indicated that providers would now have till August 28th to submit their information through the HHS designated website, which can be found at cares.healthlink.com. So if this does apply to you and that for whatever reason you did not receive a tranche 2 payment, I strongly encourage you to get on that website sometime in the next couple of days. Submit your financial information that will be required. It's relatively basic stuff, just the general sense of your revenues from 2018 and 2019. So have that prepared when you submit, and in which case, get it in and you'll get your money. All right, that's it. Once again, thank you for all that you do. Be well, be safe, and we'll speak to you soon.